had a few things I want to do today, but seems like we have a problem with Home Depot. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. We get I have a Home Depot account. Oh, wait a minute. I have a Home Depot account. Home Depot card. Number, name, all me. I've had it 10 years. Thereabouts. Couldn't tell you for sure. However, the other day, the wife gets a bill. Actually it was yesterday. The wife gets a bill from Home Depot, which is, you know, our monthly statement. You know, I owe some money and we get the bill. So she pays the bill. And then next month we get a bill. And she says, it seems like that bill is never going down. But meanwhile, so much for that. We got a bill today, or yesterday rather, and the wife is telling me about it, and I don't understand what the hell she's talking about. One of them, I think we owe like $2 grand on it. We get a bill yesterday saying that our balance is 200 and change. Now, we're 2,000+ on it, the other one. We only have one, so I'm speaking as two accounts because somehow Home Depot's got us with two accounts. So anyway, I said, I'm going to call him today. I call him today. The card that I have matches the one for 200 and change. The one that the wife has been paying on, that comes in the mail here, was a totally different number that I have no card for, and it was $2,900. Now that's the one we think was the right one, but now we don't know, you know. So she's got to go through all the bills and all the payments and all that to see which one is right, you know, because I really don't use it a lot lately. I went down there the other day and I used it because I bought some stuff, and I spent about 200 and change. So anyhow, I call him on the phone now, and the wife is talking to him. We have card in hand to match this bill of 200 and change. We don't have a card in hand for this bill that matches the number for 2,000 and change. Hold on a minute.
She just needs to tell you the...
Sorry about that, guys, but the wife came back out here because she has the representative on the phone with Home Depot Credit because she takes care of all my finances and all my payments, so she knows more about it than I do. I, however, know I only have one account. I opened it in 2013, and it has an $8,000 limit on it. That's what I know. Now, I don't pay attention to when the bills come in. She gets the bills, she gets the mail, she takes care of it. She makes the payments, she does what she has to do. She has access to my bank accounts, and whatever. So anyway, this bill came in over here on the credit card that I have in pocket for 200 and change. We're trying to figure out how is it showing a balance of 200 and change when we know we owe 2,900. So what's the problem there? You follow me? So this is what we're trying to figure out. How did this happen? This card for the 200 and change shows that it was open in 2013. That's when I opened it, right around when the store opened, within the first year. This one, the one with the 2,900 on it, was opened in 2019. Well, I never opened up an account in 2019. Now, I'm not disputing that I don't owe the money. I'm just disputing that it's in the wrong account, and where did this other account come from? Because there's a problem here. That's what I'm trying to find out. So I told her just now, we're going to close this account here for the $2,900 to where it can't be used anymore. Let it stay as is, and we'll continue to make payments on that until we figure this out. But move my credit line over to this one, which is the one that they said I opened in 2013 that I only owe $200 and change on. And they're going to put the $8,000 credit line on this one. And this one is going to be closed out, so it can't be used anymore. Now this is going to help a little bit, because if this one can't be used anymore, and the card that I've been using for the past 20 years, well, 10 change, is this one. If I go to use it and it doesn't go through, that's somehow this card is connected to this. You follow me? And when I shut this one off, it can't be used anymore. So that means that card won't be able to be used, the card that I have. So once this is all done, I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to make a purchase for like 20 bucks or something, put my card in, and see if in fact it works or doesn't work, and where it's going to show up. So the wife is going to go through all the receipts. I'm almost sure she has like 2 or 3 years worth of receipts. And they're all going to be on that one card, the card that I have in hand, physically have it. This other one, I haven't got it. You know, this one here is like 1, 2, 3, and this one here is like 4, 5, 6. You know, I don't have a card that says 4, 5, 6 on it. It's got 1, 2, 3. You know, and the 4, 5, 6 is the one we've been paying on. And this one just shows that I just made a purchase that I've had since 2013, and I just made a purchase on it after all these years. This one I've only had, according to them, since 2019, and I've already got it up to $2,900 in the middle of a pandemic, on top of it all, when you can't even get in and out of the store for a year. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, the hardest part about this is it's going to drive the wife nuts, and that's what pisses me off, because of their fuck-ups. Excuse my language. My wife is going to get aggravated. I just got to make sure I keep all the notes of everything. I'm going to have to be patient with her, try to get her through it, and at that point, if it doesn't get straightened out, I'm just going to have to get an attorney. That's all there is to it. But I'll tell you, I have nothing but headaches with Home Depot. You know, now there's no way in hell that this could be my fault. You know, and the other ones aren't my fault either, but it just seems to be. You know, oh, it must be something you did. Oh, it must be something you did. You know, the wife, up until about an hour ago, was still insisting that I had another credit card. I don't have another credit card. I have one. And then I says to her, excuse my language, kids, shut your ears off. I said, I have one motherfucking credit card. So she went to the house. But at this point, we are talking. You know, she knows how I get when you start to piss me off when I know I'm right. All right, so what I wanted to do was get that beam and tower up, but I'm not going to be able to do it until she's off the phone with this person and she comes back down and she has something to do, because I don't want to be putting it up there and her keep coming out, you know, and questions and this and that and telling me what she's doing and what she's not doing. But babe, you don't have to tell me what you're doing. I trust what you're doing. Do it. You know, but I'm kind of glad that she does. But, because we can all make mistakes, especially when you're under stress. You know, and $3,000 could put you under stress, especially when it may be affecting your credit line somewhere down the line. You know, because if somebody has a card out there with me on it, you know, hello, you know, either we're going to be paying off somebody else's debt or I'm going to get screwed, one or the other. Now, years ago, when I first opened the account, which I think was 13, I think it was 13, it was within the first year that that Home Depot opened, so it's easy to find out. And they have it on account anyway. They said 2013. So there was a woman, a girl, she's probably 35, 40 years old. She has 2 kids. She's not married. She doesn't live at home. She has her own place. I don't know if she owned it or not, but I know her father. Her father then retired from the West Haven Police Department. He was a detective for many, many years. He was with the department for many, many years, and I know him. She knows that I know him. So, I didn't know her at first until I seen her name, and I said, oh, you know, I know, you know, she, oh, that's my dad. I said, that's your dad? You know, we started bullshitting, you know. But meanwhile, when I went to apply for that card, she said, why don't you get a Home Depot credit card? Well, I know that they get brownie points, you know, and seeing that I know her, and I know her, well, I didn't know her, but I knew her father. If it's going to help her get some brownie points, you know, she has 2 kids, she's living alone, you know, I'll do what I can. So I'm doing everything right there on the machine, and then you had to swipe your driver's license or something, you know, for identification. And for some reason it didn't work. She goes, well, here, wait a minute, let me take it to another register. I said, all right, there was no reason for me not to trust her. Well, maybe there was at this point. So I hand her my driver's license, and she turns around. I'm assuming all Home Depots are the same. When you walk in the front door, you're walking into a little area, and there's a window right there, and they keep all the carriages over here, and then you have another set of doors. So I walked into that front area, and that's where I was. And so she turns around from that area, and she goes this way. She walks about 20 feet into the store, the service counter side in the store. She does something. She's writing things down. She comes back. She says, okay, you're all set. You know, she says, you want to put this on the card? I go, why not? We might as well break it in. And we did. Well, I'm going to say within a month. Next thing you know, one of my credit cards come in. No, I'm sorry, my debit card. I go to the pain management. And yeah, it was 2013. I go to pain management, and I had a $20 copay at the time. So I take out my debit card and I hand it to her. And she says, it didn't go through. I go, what? She says, it didn't go through. I said, it's got to go through. She says, no, it didn't go through. So I says, well, okay. So she calls. You know, I said, can you call them? She calls them. She goes, no, it didn't go through, and they're telling me to keep your card. I go, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, but here. I mean, because she knows me. She gives me back my card. I go out to the lobby, and I call them on the phone, and I said, I was just denied a payment telling me that I had insufficient funds when I know the money's in there. She goes, it's not in there. She said, you know, you're actually short. You're behind, overdrawn, something like $12 and change. I says, it can't be. She says, well, your last purchase, you bought something in Delaware of, I forgot what it was, 700 and something, 200 and something. I really don't remember now with all the numbers. I says, Delaware? I says, no. I says, was it there? Was it online? Can you, she says, well, it was an online purchase. I go, well, do you have anything on the purchase where it was delivered or anything, She goes, no, but you can find all that out. I'm like, all right. So I get a hold of credit union, and I said somebody had made a purchase on my debit card. Now this was one that I normally don't keep a lot of money in. I think I've told you, I have 2 different cards. One of them doesn't even have my real name on it, and I use that one for a lot of online buying. I keep just a minimal amount in it to keep the account open, and if I buy anything online, I get on the phone and I just transfer the funds from one account into that account so that it'll be covered. Alright, and that's what had happened. I had money in there because I didn't have a chance to take it out yet, because every month money goes into 2 accounts. And then I usually take out what I don't want in there or whatever. But meanwhile, make a long story short, they were going to give me back my money, the credit union, which was great. She says, you'll have it in there within the next working day. I said, fine. He says, you have any idea? I said, yes. I says, the only time that credit card was out of my sight and out of my hands was at Home Depot. When I made when I filled out the application right there on their little machine for one of their credit cards, because I knew the person that was doing it, so I wanted to help her out, blah, 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 blah. He says, what was her name? So I said what her name was. I said her father's a detective in West Haven. Well, he had just retired at that point. It was a long time ago. He's probably dead by now. I gotta ask next time I go down there. So anyway, I said, so I'm thinking that she may have been the one, because I know her father, so she's going to think, well, he's not going to do anything. Well, it's out of my hands now. It's in your hands. So, you do what you got to do. And if you want me to do it, I'll do it. I don't care. You don't fuck with my money. You don't fuck with my family. You don't fuck with my boys. You don't fuck with my stuff. You don't fuck with my money. And so at that point, come to find out, it was ordered online and it was delivered to her house. And then she was fired, from Home Depot. Now, that was back then, and we never had any problems up until 2019. I don't think that there's no way in hell that she was going to have any of that stuff to open up a credit card unless she knew somebody in Home Depot to get it through. Then at that point, she may have still had my name someplace, her father knew me, her brother knows me, her cousin knows me, so to get my name would not be an issue. However, the ID would be a problem because, well, then again, if you're that way, getting an ID with your picture on it's not a big deal. I can go into New Haven and get an ID on anything I want with somebody's picture on it. I can be Joanne, it doesn't make a difference. But at that point, I don't think it had anything to do with her. But there is a problem with Home Depot. I don't know what it is, but there's a problem with it. Is it because of the crap that's been going on? Between I got to find out what month it was started in 19. If it started near the end of the year, the pandemic was just starting to come into well, it was in China by then already, but it was just starting to travel. So I don't know if somebody said, let's do what we can to get some money or not. And you start thinking, on why and if and but anyway, we'll see what happens. I honestly feel that I owe the $2,900. But there's a mistake. There's a problem, and that problem's got to be corrected. You know, so paying the $2,900, I feel that I owe it. Their dates are wrong. The accounts are wrong. You know, just by canceling the account and moving everything over to here is not going to fix it. There's a problem. And that's what I want to find out. That's what I told her. So we'll see what happens. So, I don't want to start this just yet. So, while we're talking about it, you know, I'm in the house, I'm fine. I come out here and I'm clearing my throat constantly.